Welcome to episode 21 of the Lovecraft tapes. Hey, we're drinking age.
Oh.
But we are also an actual play Call of Cthulhu 7th edition RPG podcast using Roll20.net. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Jeremy Boomstick Johnson. Your investigators of the unknown are Brian Johnson as Samantha.
I don't like it. There's too much hay.
George Gallagher as Charles.
It's straw.
And Matt Seelish as Dan.
You know, I could have sworn I did not misplace the bridge off the island, but it looks like I have. Everyone, stop what you're doing. Let's retrace our steps and look around. It's probably around here somewhere.
That's a lot.
Oh, it's on your head.
Oh.
It's on your head the whole time.
It was in your heart the whole time.
Oh, precious.
All you had to do was believe.
Hey, everybody clap.
No, we already did that.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? What are we eating and drinking?
I am drinking Stone Mocha IPA. It is very sweet, but very good.
Yum.
Straight vodka.
You're just saying that because we have no way of verifying that because we can't.
That's right.
Like I'm drinking motor oil.
I just finished a nice 2013 glass of red wine, Italian red wine, and now I've switched to water for whatever reason. And I had some nice cheese tortellini for dinner.
Ooh, yummy.
It was awesome.
Aren't you fancy?
It was good. It was very good. It had vodka pasta on it, which I love.
George
right.
was over there? Here's your vodka.
Here's your vodka. All right. Well, before we continue, we do need to take a quick commercial break. And we're back.
Oh, boy. These advertisers.
I think it's brilliant. I love it all.
You're just saying that because they're paying us to, aren't you?
No, yes.
What will they come up with next? All
Bottled water. Huh.
Oh. Go figure. Straight from the tap. All right. Before we continue, I do want to just take a quick look at some rules. And I thought it'd be nice to sort of clarify the pushing the roll.
Which went so well for me. It just went so darn well.
Exactly.
And I did not get ridiculed about it relentlessly.
So we originally started with the quick rules, and pushing the roll, was pretty straightforward. You just push the roll. You don't like what you got, you push it and roll again. No big deal. But then once I got the Keeper's Notebook, Keeper's Rule Book, I started reading the little ins and outs a little bit, and so I just wanted to sort of highlight some things here. Direct from the Keeper's Rulebook, it says, pushing a skill roll provides the player with a second and final attempt to achieve a goal. A pushed roll is only allowed if it can be justified, and it is up to the player to do this.
Oh, man.
Whenever a player asks, can I push the roll, the Keeper should always ask, what action are you taking to push the situation? It is not for the Keeper to simply say yes or no. It is for the player to describe the extra effort or time taken to justify the pushed roll. If the player is stuck, other players or the Keeper may offer suggestions. So that's the basic overview, and the sort of the difference here is it's important to note that a pushed roll is not simply a re-roll. It takes a little time and effort to sort of figure out what it is that you need to do in order to do that. So keep that in mind the next time you fail a roll and decide in your head to push it and just click that button.
But it worked so well for me.
I know.
You're not going to have to pass a small talk check to push your rolls, George.
And I will never. You know what? This is it. I quit.
Or charm. Charm works fine too.
I quit.
So all I'm asking is, don't just click it and think you're doing it, because I'll just disregard it. So I'll need you to justify it, and then I'll allow you to make your pushed roll. So just keep that in mind.
Sounds like a lot of bullshit to me.
I know. It does kind of. It's probably easier and quicker to do it the other way. But for story purposes, it makes sense in the context of a.
So you got to kind of
podcast,
approach it from a
for instance.
different angle, and then push your roll.
Of your dang.
Yeah, you have to come up with like just a reason, that you think you can do it, or something like that. And for the most part, we'll allow almost anything.
Right.
But it's more about the storytelling than anything else. Less about the logistics of it.
Okay.
More about like because it does sort of up the ante with whatever you're trying to do. We'll sort of fill in those gaps story-wise to make it more precarious. Okay. Great. All right. So let's go ahead and have each of the characters tell us a little bit about where they're at. And we're going to go ahead and start with Dan tonight.
Ooh. Let me pull it up. Wow. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, that'd be a Friday, we sipped good wine on Betsy Carter's front porch and watched the sunset. Samantha and I even got the opportunity to explore up towards that creepy Pharmex building, but it was a little too ominous, staring at us with those darkened windows. I don't know. Maybe these creepy crows we've been seeing are getting under my skin. Samantha knows just how to calm my nerves, though. A little sack time heals the soul. Hey. And now what do we wake up to? Murder. Oh, and the storm of the century, evidently. Charles ordered me to drive to find help. But I find the bridge, or what is distinctly left of it, not quite all there.
All right.
Just
Samantha.
Dan showed up late to Betsy's, as usual. I try not to be mad at him. I know he has a tough job. He needs his vacation almost as much as Dad does. I'm not sure if it was the wine talking, but he seemed romantic over dinner. Might be time for me to turn on the charm myself. When Dad wakes us up the next morning banging at the door, my head feels like stuffed cotton. Evidently, somebody's been killed downstairs. We track muddy footprints out the victim's window to where a scarecrow once hung some distance from the hotel. A few yards before the base of the empty wooden cross, a cow lies in the grass, dead with its throat slit.
All right.
Grody.
Charles.
Grody, man. Slept like crap. Crazy dreams, wandering in an old factory, footfalls ringing out like ghostly echoes. When I look at my hands in the nightmare, they're made of straw. A straw man. That's when Carol Burt wakes me up. I don't know. I don't want to answer the door. Only wish to retreat back to sleep. Bad dreams or not. Eventually, I realize I have to get up. My calves hurt. Booze cramps, probably. Carol claims to need my help. Maybe she just needs a doctor to look at the corpse in room 108. Ligature marks on his throat and straw embedded in his neck. Clearly strangled, but I should take a closer look later. Muddy footprints leading to and from the smashed window. Damn, feels like I'm Chuck the Investigator all over again, and it feels good. Info from the staff. She seems efficient. I tell Dan to drive to town and fetch help. Samantha and I venture out into the storm. That empty spot where the scarecrow is bang gives me the shivers. I don't have a good feeling about the dead cow or its severed heart lying several feet away.
All right.
Happy camp.
Yeah, Mom and Dad, I'm having a good time at summer camp.
Hello, Mata. Hello,
Clara.
Here I am at Camp Blood.
It's a terrible thing to name a children's
Here
camp.
I am at Camp
Hey
Contented
kids,
Cow.
welcome to Camp Blood. We're going to have so much fun.
Mostly finger painting.
And blood.
In blood, yes. All right.
Continue to give.
Oh.
And now we continue the investigation. Episode 21. The scene opens with Sam and Chuck standing in the rain. The rain seems to be coming down harder than ever. Thunder rumbles ominously overhead. Then the dark day is illuminated by a sudden stroke of blue-white lightning, which reaches down out of the bruised sky to touch an old oak a few hundred yards away. The tree splits down the middle, charred to the core and smoldering. Your ears ring and ozone assaults your nostrils, stings your eyes. As if summoned magically just a few feet away, a figure cloaked in an obsidian-colored slicker points toward the ground. I know I'm a city gal, says Carol Burt, but isn't that the cow's heart?
What are you doing out here?
Well, you guys were taking so long. I saw you'd found something out here.
Well,
What is that?
we definitely found something. We have no idea what's going on.
What about you, Doc?
Am I Doc? I'm not a doctor.
It's an old expression.
Okay. I just want to make sure it's actually me.
It's you. Yeah,
I don't know.
She's
I
looking
don't
at
know
you.
what the hell's going on. This is just messed up.
Have you looked for clues near the cross and at the cow?
There's not a whole lot to see. It's pretty much an empty field.
No, I mean, yeah, did you inspect the cow closely?
As close as I wanted to get to a bisected cow.
She walks over towards it. And before she does, she reaches down into a pocket in her slicker and pulls out a plastic bag like a gallon Ziploc, puts her hand in it, and reaches down and grabs the cow's heart, and then folds the baggie inside or right side in and zips it shut and then sticks that in her slicker. She pulls out a pen light, very high powered, and walks towards the cow. She beckons for you to follow.
I'm going to follow right behind her.
Gross. But I guess I'll go too.
All right. You both trod through the muddy field, rain pouring down. You can only see maybe 20 feet in front of you. It's coming down harder and harder. And she kneels next to the cow first, pointing her flashlight along its slit throat and the seam that seems to extend from its throat along its belly.
What do you make of this?
I think
She's
I'm
like-
vegan now.
She looks up at Samantha and then looks over to Chuck, and she's like, this is not just pranks. This isn't someone just playing around.
Believe it or not, I never thought it was.
Well, give me a hand, will you? Chuck, would you mind grasping over towards the udder? The seam there?
Careful, Dad. It's
Okay.
slippery.
And Sam, if you would mind grabbing the middle part, and I'll get up towards the throat.
I don't have any gloves.
She reaches in her pocket and pulls out some just plastic gloves,
I put them on.
rubber gloves.
Fun fact, we're not being paid for this.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. So she grasps, sort of grabs a hold of the wet fur of the cow up towards its throat,
The
and then
smell.
starts to peel it back.
What are you looking for?
Lift up, and you'll find out.
Lift it up?
Lift up your flap.
Your
Lift
skirt.
up the middle.
Oh,
You're in the middle.
I lift it up.
Okay. The three of you lift it up, and you can see that all of the organs have been removed.
Fuck this.
What the hell is going on?
She shines her flashlight inside, and you can see it's just a hollowed out cavern. You can see the ribs, but all of the organs are removed. And then she sort of looks around the perimeter, and she's like, well, we got the heart. Did you guys see anything else?
No. Have you seen this before?
Yeah, she's
no.
surprisingly comfortable with all of this.
I've seen bath salts, but I am a Miami detective, so a dead cow isn't going to.
Well, I've seen bath salts.
I've seen bath salts, but this is a little strange. Do you guys got something to do with the murder?
Yeah, it looks kind of like a
I think
ritual
this
to
is a
me.
separately messed up dissected cow, completely unrelated to the other upsetting murder.
Why don't each of you give me an intelligence roll?
Because I'm afraid of what'll happen.
And remember, tell me what you rolled and if it was a success.
Yep, that's a cow.
I needed a 70 and I got a 33.
Success.
I need to scroll down to the bottom of our chat log.
Success.
Because for some reason it started at the top. I needed an 80, got an 18.
So you both passed your intelligence rolls. And she's like, what do you guys make of this cut? I mean, it doesn't look like a butcher knife or an axe.
I'm a doctor, so I can tell you that's a bilateral aortic bicuspid intersection.
Watch out for the tooth that cut that.
And Chuck, you do realize that this was made with a relatively small knife, like a switchblade.
This was made by a relatively small knife, like a switchblade.
And that makes sense to you too, Samantha. You're not sure why it does, but it does make sense.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
incredibly
think you're
vague.
right, Dad. That's
Of course I'm right. I'm a doctor.
there had to have been a lot of blood. Whoever did this. There's got to be.
I think most of the blood would have been from the cow, not from whoever did
That's
this.
what I mean. It's from the cow being cut open. I have a feeling we should maybe check some of the rooms of the guests, maybe all of the guests, and see if we can find any bloody clothes.
Sure.
I hope
I
Danny
couldn't
gets
agree
back
more.
soon.
So Carol Burt drops her flap of the cow
Gross.
and then points her powerful pen light, mini mag flashlight at the cross that's just a few feet away.
90 lumen on sale for $19.95 at Home Depot.
Ugh.
Sponsor us. # we need it.
You say big money.
No, that's Menards, you dumbass. We lost it.
Oh.
Oh, hey, Lowe's.
Halo, that's a completely different franchise.
Oh,
Damn it.
All right. So she's pointing her light at the cross, sort of at the ground, and up. She's like, "Did you guys take a close look at that?"
no, like we said, we just got
All
here.
right,
We were a
follow
little
me.
shocked. So why don't you lead the way? Why don't you lead the way?
I am leading the way. She gets
Why
up
don't you lead the way?
and sort of goes around the cow.
I'm following her. I'm side by side with her. I want to see how this works.
She starts singing side by side.
Side, but I don't know that one.
Are you singing in the rain, perhaps?
Singing in
Get
the
out of
rain,
here. You're
side by
stumbling
side.
out a bridge.
In the rain.
Good morning. Good morning.
Aw,
So she, all right.
too soon.
She moves towards the cross, and she turns to Samantha. She's like, "Wasn't there a scarecrow here yesterday?"
That's exactly what we thought. That's why we came out here.
Well, it looks like the ropes are gone.
I wonder if they're with the organs.
Or the pianos.
Oh, that could be.
Doc, would you say I know you haven't really had time to look at the body too closely, but just your quick judgment, do you think that was the ligature marks were done with the rope? Maybe that rope?
It was Colonel Mustard in the cornfield with the rope.
I knew it.
Colonel Scarecrow.
Let me take a drink, damn it. Okay, begin.
So why don't you each give me a spot hidden roll?
I think I see it.
Ooh. Why can I not find that? Oh, there we go.
I needed a 76. I got a 56.
I needed a 54 and got a 3.
Not quite.
Well, worth a shot.
Nice try.
Worth a shot.
Samantha, you do see a bit of straw at the base of the cross.
I'm going to go ahead and pick up the straw. Do you have another baggie?
Yeah, she reaches in and pulls out a smaller baggie.
I'm going to put the straw in the baggie and zip it up.
All right, she gives it to you.
Ziplocs make the best baggies.
She says, "Hold on to that. We'll take a look at it back when we're at the office,
I'd like to
at the hotel, rather."
I'd like to compare it to the straw on the body.
Good thinking. Wow, you're a natural born investigator.
Yeah, it feels very strange. I feel like I'm a little exhilarated here that I'm
Keep it in your pants.
figuring this mystery out. You single? No, just kidding.
Well, I know your father is a great mind, so maybe that part's rubbed off on you.
Gross. He's my
He's a great
dad.
mind. Well, that explains it.
Maybe that part's rubbed off in you. Oh wait,
Oh,
oops.
okay. All right then.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened.
We just reversed. Reverse.
So, is there anything else we need to take a look out here? We're getting really wet. Should we head back in?
Oh,
I'm not.
You're dry as a bone.
Ew. Yeah, let's get out of this weather. We're going to be sick as a dog.
Or as a cow.
And dogs are
Right.
sick.
Get it, guys? As a cow.
Sick doggies.
Sorry.
All right. So the three of you trod back towards the hotel in the deepening gloom. Dan, let's pick up with you, baby.
And Daniel.
Dan, a bright flash of lightning erupts from behind you to the north, followed by a sizzling peal of thunder that seems to rumble the very ground upon which you stand.
earthquake! Hit the ground.
Nearby, where the bridge used to stand, now only skeletal posts and twisted girders. The swollen river moves dangerous and swift. As you watch, an empty fishing rowboat drifts from the north and is dashed along the rocky shoreline on the other side. The splintered remains soon disappear downstream. From far away, you hear the lonesome caw of a crow.
Oh, I'm lonely.
I'm Heckle, I'm Jekyll.
Oh, God. Ooh.
All my years of playing Frogger have come down to this.
And he sinks into the fast-moving river.
Game over.
Is washed away.
See, the problem is the game came unplugged when you walked it across the street.
That explains a whole lot. Oh, damn birds.
Damn Hitchcock.
Larry
Oh.
Bird.
Oh, I'm going to hop back into the car, carefully turn it back around, and start heading back towards the Contented Cow, seeing as there's obviously no bridge, which means no going for help.
All right. So you're driving along,
Singing a song.
singing a song, and you're right about. You got the map open?
Yeah.
I'll give you a little ping. Right about yeah. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. Bing. That good?
I've seen better.
You're right about there. And as the gloom deepens, as I might have said before, and the rain pounds almost with increasing intensity. Yeah. Or like a steak, they just pound out. A dark shape darts across the road. I'm going to need you to make a drive roll.
Well, it was nice knowing everyone. Luckily, I have a backup character. Oh, damn. I needed a 20 and I rolled a 37.
That is a failure. Your wheel jerks to one side, away from the dark figure that darted across the road, and slides off the side of the road into some muck. And you hear a loud clunk,
Damn it.
and your car comes to a stop.
I'm going to throw it into reverse and see if I can't push my way out.
You should just hide in the trunk.
Yeah, this trunk seems oddly familiar and cozy, and I'm not sure why.
Deja vu all over again. So you toss it into reverse. You hear an even worse clunk and grinding. And your engine lurches and then quits.
Oh, that is so my luck right now.
And you can hear the rain just pounding on the roof.
Yeah, I'm getting a feeling that this stuff isn't going away anytime soon. So I am going to take a moment to steel myself against the weather and then hop out and start
Climbing in the
my
trunk.
way down the road towards the cow.
All right. Excuse me. All right. So you start trotting back towards the hotel. So we're going to cut back to Sam and Chuck and Carol.
You're so cool.
You enter the lobby and you're just sopping wet, clearly. And the first thing you notice is that the front desk is surrounded by concerned guests firing questions about dead phone lines and disconnected internet at a harried Mr. Perfory and tired-looking Patricia Good. The hotel employees are trying their best to remain professional, but with each crackle of thunder and lightning outside, they visibly flinch. Nearby, in the entryway to the restaurant, the chef and his wife look on calmly.
Almost too calmly.
Huh, I can't believe they killed the phone lines as well as the cow.
It's double murder.
Oh.
So Carol throws back her hood, and she's like, so Doc, you want to take a look at the body?
I don't want to. I suppose I should.
Come on, Dad, let's do it. I think we're
Closer
getting
look.
somewhere.
Let's look. And she's like, well, Samantha, why don't you see if you can give Mr. Perfoy a hand with this crowd?
Whoa. Oh, yeah, I'll help.
I'll take your father downstairs and we'll take a look at the body.
Have your way with me.
We're in room 108. That's the only empty room down in the basement. We got the air conditioning running full blast.
Okay.
And we've got it, Mr. Koso laid out down there.
All right. Mr. Perfoy, what can I do to help?
Okay.
Me in the closet.
Right.
Oh,
So Chuck and Carol head down towards the basement. And Sam approaches Mr. Perfoy. Mr. Perfoy, oh, yes, ma'am. Just a minute. And he's fielding some questions. You can see, Sam, that among the folks who are there, you can see there's quite a few people choking up the front desk here. So among them is a gentleman who I have not shared with you yet. So I'll go ahead and share you.
What a weird name.
the nerve.
Greg Tatum.
Oh, Greg. I know Greg.
Boom.
Oh, that's every
Hello,
neighbor's grandpa.
Greg.
Right? You already, let's see, okay, I showed players. Derek Perlmutter. Just shared.
Oh,
Dennis Spry, you already have met. He's the, and maybe you haven't met him, but I know Chuck has. He's the gambler guy, the poker player. Then there is
oh yeah.
Sandra Walt, who is the old lady who was talking with her old man, old husband, in the
You sound
old
looking at
man.
that picture.
That's my old man.
That's
Yeah,
my
that
old man.
picture. Oh,
It's an involuntary reaction when I look at that photo. I'm
You love
sorry.
it, don't you? Yeah, you're like, yes.
I
She's so
think it's a
hot.
mugshot at the nursing
right.
home.
Audio podcast. So she's actually the most vocal among these people who are there. She seems to be berating Patricia Good about something to do with her husband. You're not quite sure yet. There is the Swallows. Angel and Paula, who are also have been previously shared with you. And
Yes,
then
you have.
lastly, not lastly, but the fisherman who was speaking earlier yesterday, I think, maybe, with Sandra and her husband. Glenn Kerwin is his name.
Glenn Kerwin.
Glenn Kerwin. And lastly is the young lady who you saw as you checked in yesterday with her husband, presumably, or other mate. Tamara Wildflower is also there.
Tamara, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people there. They're obviously very distraught and more than a little curious about what the fuck is going on. The old lady, Sandra, is, basically trying to argue that she needs some sort of emergency contact to the outside, if they have any kind of CB radio or ham radio or whatever they can do, because her husband's not feeling well and he needs his medication, which he's almost out of.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Am I talking to Mr. Perfoy now, or are we still meeting people?
You can if you want to, yeah.
Okay.
I
Mr.
just want to let you
Perfoy.
know who all's just like
Okay.
they're basically trying to get his attention, and you're going to have to be a little forceful if you want to
Ho ho.
talk to him.
Oh, I wanna. Mr. Perfoy, I can help. Give me something to do. Let me help you.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a listen roll.
What?
Yep, exactly.
What?
He said a listen roll.
Oh,
Listen up, bitches.
I wasn't quite sure.
Roll. Oh,
I get
sorry.
my hearing aids turned down.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I was checking something else. I needed a 50. I got a 41.
All right. So you do get his attention, and now you can hear basically everybody's complaints. You do hear that Sandra does need some specific medication for her husband. He feels like he's maybe having an episode. He's holed up in his room. The fisherman obviously is just really pissed off that he's not going to be able to go out. He is offering to gather one of the fishing boats and go for the other side, and he's sort of got Angel and Paula's attention on that, and they're thinking about making a run for it essentially, and trying to get across using Glenn's fishing boat, which he says is docked over towards the bridge. And the gambler guy is just really irate because he's going to miss his tournament. And Greg Tatum is really just sort of listening to everybody and taking notes, it appears, in a little notebook.
Strange.
And Derek Perlmutter is he looks very nervous, and he keeps trying to interject and ask something, but he keeps getting cut off by the other folks. And at that point, Tamara Windflower sort of notices you listening and edging up towards Mr. Perfoy, and she says, "Oh, hi, I'm Tamara," and she puts out her hand.
Hi, Tamara. I shake her hand. Are you okay?
And you are?
I'm Samantha.
Nice to
I'm
meet you,
just a,
Samantha.
I'm a guest here.
I'm fine. It's we were just wondering what was going on, and we heard that that our phones weren't working, and my cell phone's completely dead. The towers must be down.
Yes.
And there's no internet, and we're just wondering when's that can all be restored.
Well,
is there anything weird?
Well, it's a horrible storm.
Yeah.
We went out to investigate. It is unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
That's what's causing all of this issue. That's why we have no
Oh my!
phones, we have no. The cell towers, I'm sure, are out because of the storm.
Right.
It's like every storm; it will pass. We just need to be calm and make sure that we're helping people who do need the help,
Well, you're
that maybe
very-
need medication or something like that, so we can get through this together.
That's
George, stop doing
George,
fire
extinguisher.
yeah, that storm does sound pretty
Get away
bad.
from the desk!
I've been remembering to mute my mic almost every time.
It's fine. I can always cut it out, George. It's no big deal.
Cut it out.
Cut anything
unless-
out, Brian
unless-
sucks.
Unless I have to revert to the YouTube, then we're all
boy.
fucked. Okay, so and she's like, well, so I heard there was like somebody was dead. Somebody was found dead.
Yeah, there was an incident, and my father and the detective are researching it right now and trying to figure it out. My fiance went for help to get the police, so hopefully he'll be back any minute.
I think I saw you guys check in yesterday.
Well, there's a turn of conversation.
No, I noticed
Yeah.
you noticed us, and
Yeah,
And,
I noticed you. Yep.
yeah. Well, your fiance is a nice looking guy.
Well, thank you. So is yours. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to assume. Are you?
No, it's my
There's no
husband.
good-looking
It's
Oh,
my
it's your
husband.
husband. Okay.
Yeah, Jason. He's up in the room. So
Okay.
yeah, he asked me to come.
Is he
down
okay?
and check in. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He's still trying to get a signal on his cell phone. So
Right. I think it's going to be pretty hard to do.
yeah.
But if you don't mind helping me out, try to calm down the crowd
Sure,
and see
sure.
who actually does need assistance. I'd like to help
Oh.
some people.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, let me. And she sort of walks over to the old lady Sandra and just puts her arm on her shoulder and turns her away from the crowd and sort of like talking to her and trying to get more information about her husband's sickness and that sort of thing.
He needs his medicine.
And at this point, Mr. Perfoy says, yes, ma'am. Yes, Samantha, yes. How may I help you?
I just wanted to let you know I'm here to help you.
Oh, okay. Yes. Well, I understand that your father and Carol are taking a look at things, and we're trying to reach the outside world, but
Yeah.
we've got no signal of any kind.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that needs to be done right now.
Okay.
Did I hear that your fiance went for help?
Correct. Yep. He took the car and he left for help. So hopefully he'll be back soon with the police.
Okay.
Do you have a generator by chance or anything like that, just in case?
Yeah, we do have a backup generator.
Okay.
It doesn't really do much. It'll do some lights and that sort of thing. Maybe
Right.
run a few of the refrigeration units. But we've been through a few storms over the years like this. They can be pretty bad, but to be honest, this is the worst that I've seen so far.
Okay.
Since we-
Well, and
we-
it's a storm, so I mean, it will end eventually. We just need to make sure that everybody is taken care of the best we can.
Yes. And at that point, he's interrupted again by a couple of the guests who are asking. Angel and Paula are concerned about their teenagers who are evidently without an Xbox.
The travesty.
And at that very moment, Dan walks in the front door, muddy and dripping wet.
You sexy beast, you get over here. Did I turn it up a notch?
I'm going to look around the room, and once I see Sam standing over there, I'm going to kind of wave her over to me.
I rush over. What's happening?
Okay, look, I have some bad news, and I really don't want this to spread, but you know the bridge that we drove over to get here?
Not personally. I mean, we met once.
It's not there anymore.
What
There's
do you mean?
nothing but posts left. Like most of the bridge, 80+% of it is gone with the river.
The river's gone too?
Yeah, it's gone with the wind. Oh.
The window's gone too?
Oh my God.
Microsoft
Where's the
Windows
car? I
is
didn't
gone.
hear you pull up in this horrible storm that I probably couldn't have anyway.
Yeah, about the car. I was on my way back when I don't know what, something bolted out in front of me, and out of habit, I swerved to avoid it, and I may or may not have gotten it stuck in a ditch.
Okay, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm not so sure about the car, though.
I give a big hug. I don't care about the car. I just want to make sure you were
I
safe.
only care about the car. I don't care about your well-being.
Get out of here, Dad!
You know anyone who owns a boat by chance?
Yeah, actually, the fisherman was just talking about that.
Yeah, well, he doesn't own a boat anymore.
What do you mean?
As I was standing there in shock and awe at the missing bridge, I saw a boat float down river and then get smashed to pieces against a bunch of rocks.
Mission accomplished. Shock and awe. Well, let's not break him the news yet.
Yeah. Where's
If they try to leave to
Charles?
go to the boat, we'll let them know.
Yeah. Where's Charles at?
He is with the officer. They're checking out the body.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm kind of staying out here to see if I can help with the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like people are getting a little bit restless.
I think I'm going to suggest to Mr. Perfoy that we maybe he moves people in and gives them some of the food out of the refrigerators or something to tide them over just to keep them calm. Maybe not a good idea to have booze.
Yeah, probably not in a time like this. The last thing we need are a bunch of angry drunk people running around.
Although
I think that's the first thing we need.
The world needs more angry drunks.
That could
I'll never know
only
when I get
improve
my
the situation.
massage tickets.
Hey, Dolph. Oh. Okay, look, I'm a little bit soaked, so I'm going to head up to the room and change real quickly into something dry. I really don't want to get hypothermia or trench foot. Both of those sound like terrible options.
Did you need any help?
Oh. I mean, if you want to undress me using just your teeth, we could.
Not with all that mud, mister.
My
No,
mother was a mutter.
I cannot cope with what's happening right now.
Good thing you're with a dead body then.
That's it. I quit.
Meanwhile,
All right. So can I assume
I'm
that
going
you
to see if
two...
I can keep helping with the crowd here. Come back down though,
Okay.
please.
I will make my way back down here as soon as I can.
Okay.
All right. We'll cut there. We'll take Dan is heading up towards the room to get changed, and Sam is going to continue to hang around the front crowd there in an attempt to assist Mr. Perfoy and poor Patricia Good.
She's all right.
We'll cut back to Chuck and Carol, which sounds like a sitcom.
It
Chuck
is.
and Carol, Fridays on NBC.
It's a shitcom.
Oh, please don't put us on NBC. We'll get canceled.
Oh, dude, they just sponsored. Oh,
Damn it, George! You just lost us our sponsorship with NBC.
Good.
they
Yeah.
sponsor
So
podcasts.
Carol leads you, Charles, along the corridor to a set of stairs that lead down to the basement. And as she goes, she's keeping up a nice jibber jabber. And so she's like, "So Doc, I really appreciate the help here. It's ever since Miami, my nerves just haven't been the same."
What happened in Miami?
Well, things kind of went wrong. I cornered a suspect with my partner, and they got the drop on us, and my partner got killed.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been in the hospital. I got sliced along the calf with a hatchet. Be a weird slice, wouldn't it? And so I had to do some extensive surgery on my leg. And thankfully, once that was over, I thought I'd get right back on the force, but my nerves just couldn't take it. And that's why they sent me here to the Contented Cow to try to do a little recoup. I'm actually really here for a couple months. And now, of course, this bullshit happens.
That sounds a lot like this episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Actually, it's very similar to a movie I just saw last night called Black Coal Thin Ice.
Okay, well, Black Coal Thin Ice is very similar to an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Terry Crews is too afraid to go back on the
Was it right?
streets.
Nice.
So the only option is to have Andy Samberg just pull all kinds of shenanigans until you're back on the force.
I like it. Sounds good. But in the meantime, I really appreciate your help, Doc. I mean, anything you can do to, take the reins on this would be.
I can do better.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just I'm not. I don't have any forensic background really. I'm just a beat cop who just managed a detective.
Oh boy, nobody loves me.
So, anyways, so we've got him down here. His name is James Kosil. He's a sales guy. I think you probably even have the little spiel from him, maybe. Yep, James Kosil. Oh, I didn't. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. There, I just shared James Kosil with you.
Wow, that's a really messed up face.
Why are his nostrils so long?
Does he look like that all the time, or is that
the
just
picture
like
stretched somehow?
No, that was on his driver's license.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Must be really interesting having to make that face for the cops every time he gets pulled over, so they know it's actually him.
No, he
That's
doesn't
his
have to
actual
make a
face.
face. Yeah,
That's his real face.
that's the way he does it.
When he's drunk, he looks very normal.
He
So,
has resting dead face.
Resting dead face, yeah. And hang on just a second here. I thought I said room 108, but it's actually room 110. I'm not sure why. My
Great,
bad.
now we have
Changes
to start
everything. I know who the
My
killer
bad.
is.
My bad. Yeah, it's room. Well, let me just double check that, make sure I'm right. Yeah, it's 110. It's 110. Sorry.
Wiki.
Got it.
Wiki.
Yeah, my bad. So she opens up room 10 with a key, and the air, you can hear it just running nonstop, and it doesn't smell too bad right now, but you being a doctor and all, you know that probably given time, this air conditioner is probably not going to do the trick. You guess within 48 hours that this room is going to be stinking up pretty high.
We must cut the victim into pieces and put him in the freezer.
Or in
way
the
we can
toilet.
keep the crime scene intact.
One flush at a time. So they have him laid out on the bed. The bed has been stripped back, so the blanket's sort of crumpled at the bottom, and a sheet has been rolled up all the way up to cover him.
All right. In my expert opinion, we're going to have to move that sheet to evaluate him.
Yeah, and Carol sort of indicates, but she sort of turns her back slightly, as if she doesn't want to look at him while you do your thing.
Zip.
Well, I don't want to look at him either. You just have to.
Roll for looking at dead bodies.
Dead bodies don't bother you that much. You've seen
Beg
a
to
few.
differ, but okay.
You've seen
If
a
you
few.
say.
Maybe it bothers George, but not Chuck, not Charles, and certainly not Chuck.
All right. Well, let's do this then. Take a look at the body.
Tell me what you're doing.
I'm examining the body for signs of hay or straw.
So you slowly peel back the sheet.
I would not do it slowly. That's very erotic. I would make this quite succinct and quick.
You yank it off like it's a Band-Aid.
That's right.
And he goes
And
missing.
you see
Ta-da!
that the body of James Kosil is completely nude.
Ooh.
And he's laying face up, obviously.
Still has that resting death face problem.
I will examine more closely the knuckle area.
All right. You do see that he was clearly strangled with something. You do see...
This man was clearly strangled with something.
Yes, with something. And why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden roll?
I accidentally double-clicked. The first one, I needed a 18.
Okay, so that is a success. And then...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. So you examine the ligature marks, and clearly you can see there's a little bit of rope burn there. So It does appear to be some sort of.
A little bit of rope burn here. It does appear to be.
Mhm. That's what you see on the neck.
That's what I see on the neck. I better examine the stomach next.
The what next?
The stomach.
All right. Stomach appears to be slightly distended, maybe by some gas that's collecting.
Ew.
How about the chest?
The chestal area appears to be slightly collapsed in. It does look like he may have had some surgery at some point. Judging from the scar tissue, he might have had a bypass at one
This
point.
man appears to have had surgery at some point, judging by the scar tissue, possibly a bypass. Am I impressing the cop with my knowledge?
She's like steadfastly ignoring you.
Bitch. I will now check out the legs.
That's the technical term for it. That's the medical term. So as you make your way over the groin and onto the legs, you notice that there's a little bit of dried blood on part of the inner thigh.
Not the inner thigh. There appears to be some blind dread on the inner thigh.
What's it from? Says Carol Burt.
I would say most likely an artery.
No, it's clearly. Right, you are, Watson.
I'm a doctor.
Not a gynecologist. Oh, wait, that's a doctor.
I'm a doctor, Jim, not a oh.
Not a doctor. Wait. Is the inner thigh wounded, or is the blood on there from just coming into contact with it?
As you roll the flesh back, you see that there is some sort of wound on the inner thigh. You'll have to
There's
spread
some
his
sort of wound on
legs
the
a bit
inner thigh.
more.
Oh, you're gonna have to centrally.
If you wanna
spread
get a good
legs,
look.
baby.
I quit.
Good night.
Not just the just Lovecraft tapes. I quit. I'm done. I'm already gonna have nightmares. In their flesh blood. All right, I guess I'll investigate the wound while vomiting.
As you roll the thighs apart, spread them over a little bit more. Get your head really down there, you know what I'm saying?
Breathe deep.
You do see that it appears some sort of symbol has been carved on the inner thigh.
Drink your Ovaltine. What?
You might need, it's kind of bloody and dried. You might need a little bit of water and a handkerchief, maybe. Brush it away.
Hey,
Or you can lick it. You can lick it too.
whatever your name is, I need some water and a handkerchief.
Sure thing, Doc. She goes to the bathroom and you hear some water running. She comes back with a washcloth, wet washcloth.
Okay.
Oh my God, what is that?
Let's clean this disgusting. Oh, I'm so done. Oh my God. Okay, we're doing this. All right. So we cleaned it off, and it is a symbol. And the symbol is
It's quite clearly a pentagram.
quite clearly a pentagram.
Yep. And you see Carol Burt sort of recoil a little bit.
I don't
She's like,
blame you,
"Oh my
Carol Burt.
God, what is this? Fucking Satanist now?"
I wouldn't rather not, but if you want to, that's your choice. This is a job for the Scooby-Doo and his group. I'm going to get them in here. I think they're better prepared to handle this than we are.
Zoinks!
Raggy.
I don't know what to make of this. We really need actual legitimate law enforcement to be involved in this.
Yeah, I agree, but we should at least finish up the inspection before we don't have no idea when they might be here. So, and who knows what condition the body's going to be in by the time they do get here.
All right. Well, let me know how the inspection goes.
Doc, come on, pull yourself together.
All right. Further investigating this disgusting thing that I'm so okay. So how is the wound made? Is it a cut or a burn or what?
It is absolutely a cut. It appears to have been possibly a switchblade or small knife.
This is possibly a switchblade or a small knife.
Carol's like with the cow? The same person did the same thing?
Or just a second person with a small knife, Carol.
Yeah, good point.
Ignorant slut.
It is a good
Crazy
point.
knife people.
There are at least 3 people in the world with small knives. So
Whoa,
Any other wounds on him?
2.5 maybe. Not
2.5
3.
men?
Yeah.
No thanks.
Baby?
Somewhere in the world there's a baby carrying a small sharp knife.
None of my business.
I want to play with cheese. Sorry, little pet cemetery. Go up there, that's Pet Cemetery. All right. So Carol's like, any other wounds?
I will check the last spot left, which is his arm area.
His what area?
Arm.
The arms.
Yeah.
The arms look pretty good. Why don't you give me a spot hidden?
Fine.
I see it.
Needed a 54 and got a 3.
The arms look in pretty good shape. There's nothing unusual about them.
All right. Well, that's it. My investigation's concluded. This man's dead.
He what?
80% sure.
Oh, Doc, I don't mean to tell you your business or anything, but should we flip him over?
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, he's only
Let's touch
mostly
this
dead. There's a difference.
I mean, he was found face down.
well, that's
That's true. But okay, fine. Let's do it.
All right, she helps you flip him over.
I knew it. This man's dead.
And you don't say anything right off the bat. Why don't you go ahead and give me either a forensics or medicine roll? Your choice.
Forensics a thing? Doesn't sound familiar.
Maybe it's not in this one.
I put forensics in
yeah.
mine, but
Sam
you had
is the
to
one
type
with
it in.
forensics.
Okay. I got a 70, or I needed a 70, got a 39.
All right, so that's a success.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You can tell, but that's not an extreme success, is it?
By the way, she used her wow.
That's stupid. So you can clearly see that there's a big bruise on his back.
I can clearly
Yeah.
see there's a big bruise on his back.
That could just be where the blood pooled from him laying on his back.
And you could tell
That's Sam very far away, somehow overhearing us.
yeah, with your medicine roll, you know quite clearly that this is not a natural occurrence. This is knowing that
Really, the pentagram didn't give it away?
knowing that he was found face down. You know that someone kneeled on his back and strangled him using it for leverage.
Oh my god. Okay. Someone kneeled on his back and used something I toned out for leverage.
Carol
Police
says,
officer.
"Oh my god, this is terrible. Let's cover him up."
Oh, Carol.
Yeah.
Zoinks!
And she practically, I will say, she does rush to the bathroom and vomit in the toilet.
Oh,
I do that?
She does.
That's what I've always. It's the only thing I wanted to do for the past like 10 minutes.
She does it, not you.
She beat you to it.
Yeah, but can I? I'd like to.
It's a twofer. You can use the sink.
Roll for vomit.
Everybody
All right.
loves a twofer.
What's that movie? Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. All right. So.
All right, I'm gonna cover him back up and
All right.
go kill myself.
And so as she comes out, wiping her mouth, she says, well, I think we're probably going to have to round some folks up and start asking questions. Maybe we should get them in a central location, maybe like the restaurant or something.
Okay, I just did so much hard work. Woman, you are the police officer. You do all this. I'm gonna
Like,
go watch
I can
golf.
use your hand. There's so many people here. We just need to cover the ground and keep an eye out for anything that looks suspicious. And if we get everybody in one spot, that'll probably help us out.
All right, let's go.
All right.
You're leading the way. I just did all the work.
She leads the way,
Yeah.
sort of stumbling slightly in the hallway as if she's dizzy, and then continues along a little more resolute. So let's cut back to Sam and Dan. Dan, you head up to the room and quickly get dressed into some dry clothes.
Damn it.
And head back down to meet Sam. Sam, while he was gone, you were there with Mr. Perfory, and the people, if anything, are not calming down that much. They're kind of talking amongst themselves, and obviously the fisherman Glenn is trying to convince a lot of folks to head to the riverside to look for his boat, to get in his boat and go to the other side.
Oh, he's leaving?
Well, that's what they are basically.
Okay, they're discussing.
Gearing up to do. Yeah, you
Okay.
can tell that the winds of change are blowing in that direction.
That's not all.
So you see Dan coming back, and at the same time you see Chuck and Carol, both of whom look very pale and kind of sickly.
Annie, come here quick.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry. It's and you can ask that straight out. It's no problem.
Okay. I don't want to
It-
interrupt you.
No, it's fine. So Sam just asked what time it was. I believe it was going to be about 8:30, 9 o'clock, right? When you guys first set out. So we're gonna call it about 9:30, 10 o'clock right now in the morning.
AM. Okay.
AM, yeah. But
Okay.
it looks as if it's midnight.
Right, because it's very dark and dingy. I just wanted the audience to know that it's still the morning.
He's inside.
Yeah.
Because it
Man, you
does
guys
seem
see
like
the
everything we've
waveform
talked
I
about
just
is
made with that
evening time.
sneeze.
Yeah.
So,
We'll say it's 10 a.m. And,
Okay.
But it looks like it's midnight outside.
gotcha.
And as you guys are all through this, it's been lightning and thundering and
Yep.
waves of
Pooping and peeing.
wind and rain.
And can I
That
ask one more
doesn't seem
time
right.
the fisherman's name?
Glenn.
Glenn. Okay.
Glen Coco, perhaps.
Glenn Kerwin.
Glenn Kerwin is the fisherman.
Okay.
Yep.
Danny, come here quick.
Yeah. What do you need, Sam?
Glenn is going to go take his boat. He's going to go to try to get on his boat to cross the river. We need to let him know now about his boat. If you're sure that you think it was his,
Do we know how many? If there anyone else owns a fishing boat?
I don't know. You saw it, so I wanted you to be here to talk with him in case it's not his. Then maybe we do have a chance of getting across the river.
I don't know. The way that river was raging, I don't know if anything could make it
Okay.
across.
Well, then we might want to deter them so they don't get hurt. Let's go talk with Glenn real quick.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, Mr. Kerwin.
Give me a second here. Let me switch to Glenn. Make
One.
Sure my voice is up to snuff here.
Is he gonna have a New York or Boston accent?
Glenn, there he is, right there. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Can I help you?
Glenn, my fiance he's the one that left to try to get help from the police.
Yeah. How you doing there, young man?
He made it to the bridge, but the bridge is washed out.
Oh.
Nothing but posts left
Now,
at this point.
Someone with the boat, that might not be that big of a deal, but he saw a boat wash by. Are there any
Oh.
other fishing boats docked around here, or just yours?
Well, gosh, I sure wouldn't know, but what did it look like, young man?
It was a small
It's really
wooden
bad,
boat.
really stupid. Not a good boat.
It had a big hole in the bottom of it.
That's
really
mine.
ugly.
Yep, that's mine. Mine's the hole.
I mean, I couldn't get much of a look at it, kind of being blinded by the pounding rain, but it was definitely a small wooden fishing boat.
Oh, God, I hope that ain't mine. But yeah, I had it tied up just a little bit over towards the Pharmex building, just a little bit off the shore.
Well, that's where it looked like it came from. It
Oh,
must have
God.
gotten ripped off its moorings with this wind and rain. And it
Well,
was
I guess I better head out and check it then. Anybody want to go
You
with
should
me?
definitely go alone because that does not.
Just
have
be
any
very
sense of
careful,
trouble.
please, because it's really bad out there. The lightning is striking very close.
Oh, yeah.
And as he announces that, the other guests that are clustering over towards the front desk there are Angel Swallow and
Oh, yes, she does.
and Dennis Spry. Both are like, yeah, we'll go with you. We'll go with you. And they look like they're getting ready, their coats to leave the hotel. And at this point, Carol Burt sort of elbows Chuck.
Ow, you bitch.
Carol Burt.
Fuck.
God,
The
there's a
Miami
lot of
police
people.
officer, Brian.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, what is it? Carol.
No, she elbows Chuck. She's away from
Oh,
you guys.
sorry.
You guys.
Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding
together
about yelling at her for harming me. That really hurt. So, anyway.
Well, she didn't hit your elbow with your elbow, so
Oh, then you're fine.
It wasn't hot elbow on elbow action.
It doesn't just can't. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. But anyway, what do you want?
do you think it's a good idea if they leave when we're still looking for some sort of suspect?
Well, at the same time, we need to get help somehow. And if he has a
but
boat,
maybe we can do that later, but we should start asking some questions to these people. I thought we were going to round them up.
okay, I'm the enforcer. You're the cop. You are doing the investigating, and I'm doing the copping or the doctoring.
All right. So she's like, okay. She shrugs her shoulders and steps forward. Sirs, we need to see everybody who's in this room right now in the restaurant. We have some questions. Please, I'm a cop. I'm a police officer. I'm a detective with the Miami Police Department, and we just have a few questions for you. We'd also like to give you some information about the. We'd like to give you some information about the murder. And as soon as she says murder, everybody sort of whips around, looks at her, and you notice Sam out of the corner of your eye, the chef and waitress, or I guess chef and cook, slink back into the restaurant, the darkened interior of the restaurant.
Foreshadowing.
Vicious.
And then Carol starts walking that way, beckoning towards the group, and she's like, "This way, please." And you can see the chef has flipped on some lights in the restaurant, so it's a little bit brighter. And the people start filing in, sort of talking and chattering amongst themselves. Glenn and Dennis, the gambler, looked pretty peeved because they were all set to go out, and but they all file into the restaurant.
All right, I'm going to step up to Carol real quick and just in her ear, I'm going to say, you might want to have the kitchen staff out here as well.
Okay. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't look too pleased
grabbing them.
when you mentioned that. Yeah, I'll go grab them, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I figure we can at least take care of this group of people. I know there's other people.
You mean take
in the
care of them?
hotel. Yeah, like take care of them. Snap. So she rounds everybody up and asks you to go and grab the staff, and among the staff that you gather up, obviously the chef Pierre, and his wife Martina, who basically just does sign language, and excuse me, Wilma is also there. It's her shift.
Wilma.
Wilma.
Sorry, I just looked at Wilma's picture.
It's Margaret.
So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just say, guys, do you mind stepping out into the restaurant as well? We just want everybody in the same spot so everybody hears whatever. So there's no rumors. It's all first person hearing. Thank you so much.
Yep,
I much prefer third person hearing myself.
Yeah, they absolutely come out, no problems. They don't give you any hard time or anything. And
That's
so
suspicious. A hard time.
You've got a good group of folks in there. So now it's just a matter of what you want to ask. And Carol says, I'm going to run over and see if I can round up some more people. Why don't you guys start asking some questions?
You're the fucking cop.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Oh my god.
I'm out. So each
You're
of
the
you,
worst cop ever.
each of you can now ask questions of folks who are there.
Okay.
So
Guys,
if
I
you
think-
like or not.
I think our best logical starting point here is just going to be asking everyone if they heard anything last night. I mean, a guy was killed. Do you think
From
there'd be
that room?
some sort
Yeah.
of noise? I haven't had a chance to look at the crime scene yet. Is there anything I should know before we start poking around?
Dad, you know better than me.
He had straw in his neck and on the broken windowsill. And
Straw
What?
like the crazy stories that Betsy was telling us, straw?
no,
or...
like what you get with a soda at a fast food place.
Oh, okay. Was it crazy straw or bendy straw? Because
They
it
were
makes
just
a
sticking
difference.
out of his
Daniel,
neck all the way
can you
around.
please take this seriously?
I'm sorry.
Danny.
And
Elbow
there
to
was
elbow.
he had some cutting on the inside of his leg that was not good.
What do you mean cutting?
Maybe he was into, I don't know, self-harm.
I don't understand what that is.
What are you trying to do with us not knowing, Jeremy? Because your plans just got foiled.
So what was on the inside of his leg?
It was just like a carving. It was hard to tell.
Of what?
It was hard to tell.
You can tell me. It's hard, I know, but you can tell me.
What was that one?
Jesus Christ. It was difficult to tell
Okay.
what it was.
Okay. I mean, if there's a broken window, obviously that means there was shattering glass, and someone might have heard something. I mean, it's not exactly the most quiet thing in the world when you try and bust down a window.
Yeah, that's
That's
true. That's
Two
true.
times in a row you failed that.
Oh, it sucks.
Okay, so why don't we start with where was everybody at last night?
Okay.
But before, let's preface that and see if anybody in here needs any help with anything urgent, like medication or anything like that.
All right.
Okay, I'll start, and then you guys work on some questions. Maybe we can trick somebody into giving themselves up if it is indeed one of these people.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask before we get started on any questions regarding the incident. Does anybody need anything medically before we get started?
Sandra,
What?
Dan's new girlfriend, holds up her hand. She's like, "Yes, my husband. He needs some medication. He's not feeling so well."
Okay, what does he need, ma'am?
Well, he
Cocaine,
takes
meth,
he takes
we
some
have it all.
lithium and some adrenaline, and it keeps his heart in pace.
Okay,
Dan,
where is his
Dan, go beat the
medication
shit out of him,
located?
bro. Get his adrenaline going.
I'm sorry, say again, Samantha.
Where is his medication located?
Well, he's only got 2 more doses,
Okay.
and so he'll be out tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, so he's got the rest of today and then tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's hope that the storm passes and we can definitely get a solution for later this afternoon. So hopefully that won't be an issue. If it comes to that, then we'll definitely revisit this and make sure that we get him taken care of.
Well, thank you, young lady. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for letting
You're
us
so
know your
nice.
issue.
You're so nice, but he's just not. I'm a little worried because he's just.
Ma'am,
not
sit the hell down. Next. Number 23. Number 23.
Yeah, I'll have a
Does anybody
pastrami
else have any
outside.
medical issues or anything that we need to know about before we get started?
No.
My thigh is sore.
I'm bleeding everywhere.
Sir, that's not relevant to our current situation. Please sit back down.
All right.
I'm gonna stand up next to Sam. Okay, look, this is not very pleasant for any of us. Okay, none of us want to be here right now. So
I'd like to point out how much more unpleasant it was for me than all of you.
So if we all work together, we might be able to get out of here just a little bit sooner. First thing I want to know, did anybody in this room hear anything that sounded like breaking glass last night? We had a shattered window.
I did.
Nobody speaks up.
I heard some.
And what is this role you're trying?
What do I have?
Disguise.
It almost sounds like an intimidate, right? Like a.
We can go with intimidate.
Intimidate's good.
Tell me, damn it.
All right, let me secretly roll for you.
That's going so
secret if
well.
you tell us, jackass.
Oh.
All
Surprise,
right, I secretly rolled for you, so you're all set. Nobody speaks up.
Nobody heard anything?
Everybody shrugs.
Dan, you wanna
hear a bunch
add
of
anything?
shrugging.
No.
Does
I think
anybody
about it.
know the person that was in room? What room was he in? I'm
One-
sorry.
108.
No. That was
Uh,
where
he-
we were storing him, not where he died.
Right. No,
He was in
actually.
108.
He was actually. Well, yeah. You don't really know what room he was in, do you?
Well, we found the body in room 108.
In 108 is where they found the body.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody
Yep,
know
108,
that
yeah.
the gentleman that was in room 108?
We know what his name was, guys?
Well, the real nervous guy goes. Yeah. He was in the room next to mine. I think he was a. Was he a sales guy? I didn't know him, but I mean,
Okay.
we bumped into each other in the hallway.
That's okay.
Sounds like a lot of
And you-
information to know about someone if you didn't know them.
Well, I just
Possible occupation is basically best friend status.
Only on Facebook, George.
God. I knew I shouldn't have said anything.
That's okay. That's okay. Did you hear anything at all last night? Anything at all? Not breaking glass, but anything?
No. I'm taking some medication, so I didn't hear anything.
It seems like we all are these days.
Yeah.
Welcome to the United Druggies of America.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
coincidentally the name of my
Well,
heavy metal
thank you
cover
so
band.
much for speaking up. We appreciate it. We're just trying to work together to try to figure out what happened to make sure that we're all safe.
Yeah. Well, I think the detective she heard something. That's what she was first on the scene.
That is true.
And she's gone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the other side of me. She's just 2 doors down from where James was.
Okay. Oh, you know him by the first name.
Or, I mean, Mr. Coastal. Mr. Coastal.
Now I
Get
know
him!
him by his
Come on,
last
get him!
name.
Hey, Danny, why don't you run and grab Carol?
Yeah, I'll go see if I can find her.
To be
She said
concerned
she
that
was.
she is the one who found the body and then got all of us together and then left.
That's why I said, Danny, why don't you go get Carol?
Okay.
I'm a little bit concerned at this point. I didn't even.
She said where she was going.
I like to talk in high pitched noises.
She said she was going to go get in a car and leave. In hindsight, it was a little suspicious.
It's just a game. Why is everyone upset?
It's just a game.
Tangents. We have them.
Yes.
You know where she said she was going?
Didn't she say she was getting all the employees?
She was going to see if she could round up any more people in the hotel.
Okay.
So
I
get on
guess
your
I will.
tricycle, Danny, and ride up and down the hallways.
Bring, bring.
Danny.
Play with
Oh,
us,
tiny
Danny,
boy.
forever and ever.
Okay, I'm going to
Elevators, Danny.
head out of the restaurant and start scouting the hotel area, I guess. I don't know where she is, so I guess we'll start on the first floor and work our way up from there.
You step outside the restaurant and you see Carol Burt walking towards you with a couple people in tow.
Oh, hey,
She has
Carol,
their
I was
toes? Definitely the killer.
just about to come looking for you.
Yeah, this is all I could find. Everybody else is either out in other areas,
Or
but I did manage to round up Brandy Pellet. Let me see. Let me share her with you. There you go.
So many people.
You're absolutely right, buddy. Brandy Pellet. She's room 202. And Karen Vircher. Let me find her. There you go. And she's in room 210.
She looks
Where'd you get all these
suspicious.
headshots from?
Lots of different places, buddy. Lots of different places.
His
Um,
search history is just
You want to
really
come into the restaurant real quick? I want to ask you
Yeah.
something.
Sure.
So, aren't
She urges him into the restaurant and stays back with you. Yes. What is it, Dan?
so the nervous guy on the other side of room 108?
Oh, yeah. What's his name? Is it Derek?
way to rat out the snitch, Matt. Now he's gonna die. He's gonna get
Yeah,
shanked.
he's right next to me. Yeah, he's. I'll tell you. I know something a little bit about him. He's a recovering alcoholic. That's why he's here.
Mm.
He's crediting the source. Interesting.
He said that he thought you might have heard something last night. I mean, we had something bust open a window, and it seems like nobody heard anything, which is a little bit strange.
Yeah, I don't think it's that strange considering how loud the thunder and lightning was. I mean, that's just
But how
basic
did she
logic.
find the second body?
I thought you were in security.
Yeah, I stop people from getting killed. I don't investigate it when they do.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, why don't you come on in here?
He's
and
a
we'll
fraud
talk to these
monitor,
people.
not a fraud protector.
Yeah. I only let people know when there's been a murder. There's been a murder.
And as Carol and Dan walk in, the lady that she brought down, Brandy, nice young lady, suddenly speaks up at the top of her voice. I saw him.
Who's him?
You. And she points at Charles. I saw you at the bar.
Chuck.
I saw you after the bar closed last night. Around 1? Near the elevator on the first floor? You had a weird look on your face. I've seen it before. Stone drunk.
That wasn't my murder face. My murder face is totally different.
So everybody else looks directly at Chuck. And Carol sort of walks up next to him. Doc, what are they talking about?
I don't know. I had a lot of drinks, but that didn't do anything else.
Actually, yeah, you did, Chuck. You wandered into the spa and then passed out in one of the massage rooms.
Well, maybe tell me that.
I'm trying to spare your feelings, Dan.
Me and Dolph, one of the masseuses, had to drag you back up to your room.
Okay, well, then there you go. That's where I was.
You snore loudly.
Not a great time for put downs, but all right.
At this stage, several repetitive jabs of lightning hit nearby, and you cringe in anticipation of the resultant thunder. It booms too close, deafening everyone in the room. The lights flicker and then give out.
So you're just going for all the cliches or just the big ones?
No, here comes another one. Someone cries out in the dark.
Okay, now we're just being comedic here.
Out in the dark.
Then the emergency generator kicks in, weakly powering some of the overhead lamps to bathe the group in a sickly yellow radiance.
Is everyone okay?
I've been better.
You see everybody is pretty rattled, and you can see Glenn and the gambler guy, whose name I can't remember offhand, Dennis, are edging out of the other door of the restaurant towards the lobby. And you see that basically the cooks, the chef, have headed behind the bar. A couple of the folks are looking at Chuck with renewed suspicion, and they're essentially trying to disperse.
You two, I'm going to point at Dennis and what's the other guy's name?
Yeah, you can. I don't know either.
We need more characters.
Exactly.
There's just not enough names to memorize.
Exactly. It's Dennis and Glenn.
I'm going to point at Dennis and Glenn. Get your asses back in here. We are not done.
Hey, man, you ain't the boss of me. I'm gonna go check out my boat. And they walk out.
That's not about it. Sorry.
It's a boat.
Flo and Martine both head into the back, into the kitchen. Pierre sort of stands behind the bar with his arms crossed.
Yep, I'll do.
Should I go and get those two back, or are we just going to let them go?
We can't make people stay here. Honestly, we can't. First off, it's not our job. It's not our hotel. But I think it'd be more suspicious if we tried to make them stay.
Unless they're the killers who are trying to escape.
But guess what happens if the killers escape? No more killers.
That's right.
Huh.
Ding,
I never
ding.
thought of it like that.
Ride a bike.
Fraction. One killer minus one killer equals 0 killers.
I love killers.
Band?
It's a great band. Yeah.
So I say we let them do what they want, and we keep investigating the best we can.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like these people are going to be much help anyway.
He's so worried about his damn boat. He'll be back.
Unless he gets killed, and then he won't
They
be
all
back.
come back.
Well, your milkshakes do bring all the boys to the yard.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah, but it was hilarious.
So Carol, looking very unsure of herself at this point, puts her raincoat back on and says, "Guys, I'm going to keep an eye on Glenn and whose ever name I can't remember."
But it started with Dennis, wasn't
Dennis.
it?
Dennis and Glenn. I'm going to go because if there is a boat, then I want to make sure that they don't take off without us. So I'm gonna try to commandeer it.
Okay. Keep safe. It's nasty out there.
You guys are gonna have to fare on your own here for a little bit. I'll be back as soon as I can. I guess.
Did you say she'd be right back?
Be right back. So she's like, maybe question some folks who didn't show up here. You also might want to do a little bit of, check the registry and see if there's anybody who, isn't who's listed who didn't show up or we haven't seen yet. Might be somebody who's lurking about. When do you want to go check on Betsy?
Who's Betsy?
That's a great idea.
Especially now that the lights are off.
Totally forgot about her.
I don't remember who she is.
Mr. Perfoy, can you check on the generator and see if you can get that fired up to where you can at least have lights? We're going to go check on Betsy.
This is it. Yeah, we have emergency lights, but this is it.
That's it? Okay.
I'm sorry, man. This is all we can do at the moment.
Piss off, you fucker. Piss off.
Charles, you want to go with Sam to check on Betsy, or do you want to stay here and check the
If someone would
registry?
tell me who the hell Betsy is.
Betsy
I'm old, I
is
don't know.
Betsy is the nice lady who lives on the island. She
Now
gave
that
me
just
and
sounds like
Sam
something
wine.
you'd tell me if I was at a dementia house.
She's a nice lady who's just trying to help. Take the damn pill.
I'll be on the island soon. I want to go to the island.
You want to go with me, Dad, or do you want to stay here? It's up to you.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Danny, you mind heading this up?
I'm gonna- yeah. I'll go chat
people.
up Perfory and see if I can't get a glimpse at the registry. See if I can't spot anyone who has not shown up yet.
And just keep an eye on the guests and see if anybody's trying to
Also,
get away with
Dan,
anything.
just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming, Dan.
Thanks,
Just keep
Charles.
Just keep swimming.
Flush it down.
Just remember his big, strong hands.
All right, so Sam and Chuck are headed towards Betsy's house to check on her, make sure she's okay. Daniel is going to try to fast talk or charm Mr. Perfoy into letting him see the ledger.
Well,
Or force. The thing is, we're like literally doing a criminal investigation for free, even though none of us are freaking police officers.
But don't bother rolling yet. Let's do a little role playing, and then we'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
I have terrible charm and fast talk, but I'm not
Good,
quite
so
sure
just
if
work through it.
intimidating would be the best option.
Well, it's up to you, man. You role play how you think you're going to do the best chance. So
Oh boy. Okay. Because obviously intimidate would be my best option, but if we want him to keep helping us, I don't know if I should scare him into giving me information.
Why don't you talk to him and see if he'll just give it to you first?
There's other types of intimidation, Dan. Try sexual intimidation.
Mine's bigger than yours. Give me one.
Here's the ledger.
8 inches.
Yeah, okay. Dan. And today we learned too much about Matt.
Okay. I guess I'll just go up and ask him to see if he'll just hand it over
Yes,
first.
sir. What can I help you with?
Hey, Mr. Perfoy.
Yes.
I assume that you keep a ledger on you, which has the names of everyone who's staying here.
Well, yes, I do. It is a matter of routine that we punch them into the computer, which is now, of course, out of line. And but I also happen to keep a backup.
Yeah.
I keep a written backup in my safe.
Wow, that's great forethought
I fill
there.
it out each night, and just in case.
Okay, we're trying to account for everyone here, make sure no one is trying to, slip out of here unnoticed. So I was wondering if I could take a quick look at your backup ledger to see if
Ooh.
anyone who is not in that restaurant right now.
Well, I'm not sure I'd like to do that. You're not police, are you?
No, I'm campus security though, if that counts for anything.
That literally counts for jack shit.
Yes. Well, I am English, so it is gentleman jack shit. No,
Jack?
I'm afraid not, sir. At least not at this point. I couldn't possibly let you have that.
Night.
Oh.
I do apologize, sir.
Well, if the killer gets out of here, I know who I'm pointing the cops at.
Well, I suppose I haven't thought of that. Is that an intimidate?
Yes.
Well, then why don't you go ahead and give me that
A
roll?
weird question. Was that an intimidate?
You just sounded really odd.
I think it worked.
Needed a 60, and I rolled a 14.
Oh, well, now that you put it that way, I wouldn't want there to be any secrets, would I? One moment. And he pops back into the back office.
Oh, I should check that while I'm waiting for him to come back before I forget.
And a minute goes by. And another minute.
Can I see back into where he went from where I am in front of the desk?
There is basically a nice wooden door that you might, it says manager on it.
I'm going to walk around behind the desk and knock on the door.
There's no answer.
I want to try the knob to see if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
I'm going
Matt, he's
to.
British. Do you know what a knob is in Britain?
I'm going for the door handle.
That's a better statement.
I'm going to slowly open it and walk in to see if he is still in there.
You walk in and you see it's pitch black inside. And then a flashlight shines you directly in the face.
Whoa, bright light.
And a dark shape moves towards you quickly. And now we'll cut back to Dan and Sam.
No.
Or, sorry,
Sam,
Chuck
Samuel.
and Sam.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. Yes.
What an improvement.
All right, so you guys are walking down the road towards Betsy's.
What a twist.
It's really bad out. It's just raining cats and dogs. Dogs and cats living together.
Peter's gonna have a fit.
Pandemonium.
It's the best rain. Everybody says so.
Oh
Everybody
God,
does.
please not now. This is our safe space.
Buy my
If you
daughter's
disagree
stuff.
with me, I'm taking you to court.
And so you walk along the road, which I believe here is paved. But once you get up towards Betsy's, I believe that was more of a muddy path now. And you approach Betsy Carter's house, and you can see that something's not right.
It's not quite right.
Even through the driving rain, you can see the mottled glass of the front door has been shattered.
Oh, shit.
Shards litter the porch like glistening crystals. Beyond, darkness beckons.
Beyond darkness.
Was that a Star Trek movie?
I think it's an eyeshadow.
I think it's an eyeshadow.
Beyond Darkness, new from Maybelline.
I think it's Ivanka Trump's new line, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, we should all buy that.
Let's go to Nerdstrom's. Oh,
Too soon.
TJ Maxx even canceled. That's all right. And moving on.
But we're definitely unbiased here at Lovecraft Tapes.
Fair and biased news here at the Lovecraft Tapes.
buy us.
My house news.
No one biases like us.
You can buy us for your news. We are open for sponsorships.
We are
Yes.
damn cheap. Trust me.
Yes.
We'll pay you.
So
I think we should get up there quick. Dad, come on.
Okay, I'm like 70 or something. Quick doesn't really work.
Go!
I hope he doesn't have gout.
Oh.
Oh.
Did you bring your Crocs?
Crocs are a choice.
They are a choice. I'm wearing them all day, every day.
I'm
All right.
sorry, we can no longer be friends.
I'm gonna go up on the porch and kind of poke my head in through the door and yell out for Betsy. Betsy, are you here?
You approach, and your footfalls crackle onto crinkling glass. If that even makes sense. Tinkling glass. How's that?
Oh, gross.
You can see that it is completely dark inside. And you get no response from your call.
Dad, do you have your flashlight?
Of course I do.
Nobody has his flashlight.
Oh, God. Dad, not the time. Not the time. Oh, my God. Judas Priest.
How do you know that sounds so accurately?
I'm picturing a sock. A tube sock.
Oh, my God. And that's where we're ended today.
That's
Well,
what
pick
we're
this up
doing.
next week.
Is it a sock or not?
We will never be picking this up ever again.
That's a wrap.
Oh,
Sponsor us, Haynes.
Join us next week for the Lovecraft tapes 2.
oh. Can I? Let me see
Electric
the flashlight. I'm gonna shine it in there. Betsy, can you hear me?
Why don't you give me a spot hidden roll?
Oh,
I needed a 76. I got an 80.
burn
I
your
tripped,
luck
fell on
points.
the
It's only
glass door and
4.
sliced my throat.
Your flashlight flickers
Brian.
and then goes out.
Are
Don't
you
forget-
kidding me?
You can spend luck points. Remember, we talked about this.
Oh shit! I forgot about luck points. It's too late now,
Push.
but I will
Yeah.
remember.
It's not too late.
Roll.
It's not too late.
So you can spend
If
4
you-
points.
If you want to.
I will spend 4 luck points.
Okay. Then go ahead and decrease your luck points by 4.
Oops, I hit something I shouldn't have.
Don't do it. He might not check.
Oh, I'll check. I got backups of all your characters.
Shit.
We got backups on backups on backups.
Okay, I changed it so.
So you're good.
Okay.
You use luck to create a success. So your flashlight flickers back to life,
Oh.
and you see inside there's furniture been tossed every which way but loose. There's a huge orangutan.
Oh God, no!
Left turn, Clyde.
Left
Jeremy
turn, Clyde.
Clarkson, what's he doing here?
And you
Muppet.
see muddy footprints
Oh,
leading
shit.
into the interior.
Dad, get up here. The footprints. Are
What? What do you want from
here.
me?
The same footprints are here.
Just plain scarecrow.
We need to go in. Do you have any weapons or anything?
Just my keen sense of humor and wit.
Oh, shit, we're screwed.
No monster can stand up to Charles's keen sense of humor and wit.
That's right.
He shall die laughing.
I'm gonna pull out
Well,
my
I'm
Ruger
in charge of our days and
SR22.
our nights. I don't think I have any weapons. I believe those were removed from me.
Yeah, I think I said
From you?
left weapons, except for I believe Dan had a switchblade. I think it was it, right?
Oh, so I don't have my
That rings a bell.
gun.
No,
Oh
I believe I said that at the beginning of the.
no,
You're a
I
professor.
don't recall.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't
It's
have
in
taken
my
that.
gear and possessions.
Mine too.
So
I
no, you
pull
don't
out
have
my
any weapons on
assets
you.
and throw them at it.
It's just a game.
It's just a game. All right, so let's head in and see what we can find. We need to see if Betsy's okay, Dad.
Well,
So I'm going to pull back and open the front door and go in, shining my flashlight all around the room and also on the footprints to see which direction they go.
Okay, so obviously the furniture looks completely like as if a tornado had ripped through,
Maybe it was.
and you can see that the muddy footprints head towards the staircase leading up.
I think we need to go up, Dad. Let's go. Or do you want
All
to
right,
stay
I guess
down
this is a
here?
fine
Should
way
we
to-
split up? I'll be right back.
no, we
So
should
what-
not split up.
Okay, let's go ahead and head
Okay.
upstairs then. See if you can find something as a weapon. I don't know, a chair leg or anything. If all the broken furniture, I'm going to look around and see if I can find something,
You can easily find,
a club type item.
sure, yeah, broken chair legs, something along those lines. The kitchen is right there if you needed a butcher knife or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go in and get a butcher knife.
Okay.
Still looking for that club.
Sam, you go into the kitchen and you see the butcher block right there, but the butcher knife is actually missing.
Okay, I'm going to pull open a couple drawers and see if I see any. The whole butcher block is missing, or just the butcher
just
knife?
the butcher knife. There's plenty of other knives there.
Okay.
Go for the paring knife.
There's a nice boning knife. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll take the
boning
next
knife.
biggest knife.
Okay, that is actually
A
a
carving knife.
carving knife.
Cleaver.
Yep.
Yes.
And actually not a carving knife, but a bread knife.
Yes.
It's got the nice serrations.
Nice.
Okay.
That way, when
Enough
you
with the
stab
kitchen
someone, it'll go in
semantics,
a little
folks.
smoother.
Chuck has a nice chair leg that has a rusty nail sticking out of one end.
Unfortunately,
That's the name of my
That's the wrong end.
unfortunately, it's the end that he's put his hand on.
Ow,
So
ow, 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 ow.
You lose 1 point of damage per hour.
So you are now weaponized.
All right, let's head up. Betsy, are you here? Can you hear us?
You creep up the stairs and continuing to call out, but there's no answer. And the muddy footprints end at what appears to be a bedroom door that's closed, but
Is there a sock on it?
just slightly unlatched.
Okay. I'm going to slowly push it open with the flashlight so it scans the room as I push the door open.
Got it. The bedroom door if I could actually type, that'd be nice. The bedroom door creaks ominously as you open it. A strange painting hangs above the bed, seeming to depict Christ crucified on the cross. But then a flash of lightning through the window shows you otherwise. It is Betsy Carter. She has been nailed spread eagle on the wall, nude, with a rough pentagram carved into her stomach. Blood, presumably hers, has been used to paint the shape of a cross on the wall behind her. In the dim light, you can see her head lolls forward. You cannot see her face. I'm going to need each of you to make a sanity roll.
Someone else turned on right now?
oh, now you're turned on, but you couldn't look at a dead body.
Not without its fleshlight. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
I must have done bad. I wasn't on the right page.
Chuck, you managed to hold down your breakfast and last night's debauchery, probably because you were so hard bitten and have seen another body this morning that it doesn't affect you that much. Sam, you are not so lucky.
Push the roll. Oh,
You are not so lucky. You take 1 sanity damage, so lower that puppy.
Temporary or
And-
definite?
It's going to be basically the first 2 slots.
Okay,
So it won't be your maximum or whatever.
gotcha.
So now I need to make a sanity roll here for you. So let me look that up real quick.
So I took a sanity damage from my roll,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to take more from your roll?
No,
Okay.
you're taking 1 point,
Okay.
but now you're going to roll to see what your involuntary action is,
Oh, cool.
right?
she strips
So let
down
me-
and starts running around naked.
So let me
I knew I wasn't the
grab
only one that
that.
was turned on.
Right.
Dude, she's your daughter.
Yeah, don't look.
Keep it
Feel
in
com-
the
feel
family.
compelled to do this.
I'm the adopted daughter. Or she's my adopted daughter. It's fine.
I thought we had a nice.
With
Hang on a second.
incest.
Was that roll 20? Let me see here. Un momento.
Please stand by while we are having technical difficulties.
Testicle difficulties.
Someone cue the hold
You got
music.
that checked out.
Okay, don't see that there. Okay. Involuntary.
Are we going to have to buy the rights to the Jeopardy think music for you, Jeremy?
I think that's an old joke, buddy.
Haha. I get it.
Bombs are ready, buddy.
Involuntary action. There we go.
Bomberman 93.
All right.
Now's not the time to be playing Space Invaders.
Let's play
Okay,
Galaga.
there we go. Go ahead
Where's
and
Galaga?
roll me a d6, please.
Okay.
86. Out of
That's
what?
a lot.
What? Ooh.
A
2.
Okay.
Bless you.
Sam, you cry out in terror and drop the flashlight, backing away from the door.
I realized that it was a flashlight the whole time.
Yep, that's why he screamed.
For the bomb.
That'd be a weird sponsorship to pick up, wouldn't it?
That'd be a weird-
Flashlight. New.
Exactly.
Stipulation is
All
you have
right.
to demonstrate.
So I think that's where we're going to cut it. That
Audio
seems like a really good
podcast?
cliffhanger.
Cool.
So we've got Dan in a cliffhanger, and then we've got you guys having just found Betsy. So that's where we'll pick up next time. That's
I don't
about.
think that's much of a cliffhanger. We know exactly what happened to her.
There's more to be had. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
So we'll just leave it
Get
right
out
there.
the fleshlights.
All right. So let me get back to my script here.
do it.
Do my
Just
script.
Wait, this is
Do my script.
scripted?
Just do it.
Yeah. All right. So give me your reactions to this episode.
I have been blinded by the light.
I thought it was going to possibly be just one investigation on a body, and it turns out to be some shapeshifter, something. One of the guests. Now I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's the island is cursed and it's keeping us here. If it's, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I know what it is.
I'm scared.
Chuck knows what it is. It's all in his head.
Oh, wait a minute. Pharmex makes fleshlights.
Yeesh.
I knew it.
All right.
Wow.
God.
Let's move on to our segment.
Let's move on that note.
Let's move on. Let's move on to our recommendos of the week. Let's go ahead and start with Chuck. George. Sorry.
Great, you scared him off.
Sorry, George. Didn't mean to scare you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
We got you.
All right.
So
All right. So this week I'm recommending a soda. It is. I honestly don't know what the brand is. It just says handcrafted old-fashioned special reserve black cherry soda. The brewery is Indian Wells Brewing Company. It's in California, and it's just this. It's a huge bottle. First of all, it's like almost the size of a wine bottle, and it's the top is dipped in wax, sort of like Maker's Mark. So really interesting and really tasty and expensive. But
now it's Indian Wells Brewing. Is that near Yorba Linda?
no, actually it's near the old-fashioned fantasy that apparently I have in my head.
Is it within the Mexican restaurant district?
No, it's by the tuna fish restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Which is
The
in
taco
pissing
fish.
distance.
Taco fish restaurant. It's within a pissing distance of the taco fish restaurant.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's move on to Dan.
Uh,
Or, I'm
This week-
sorry. Come on, I'm calling you guys characters. Matt, what's your
This week I'm hopping back on the indie game train. I just last night discovered a game that just came out on Steam by a very small Australian studio. It's called Orwell, and what it is you play a technician in a made up city called The Nation. And what it is you're selected out of a bunch of people to work in this new justice department, which runs off of a new crime prediction system called Orwell. And it's your job to track suspicious people. And it's you going in and, hunting through all their data. You get, you can get into their emails, their bank accounts, you listen in on their phone conversations, you dig through their social profiles, all in order to try and figure out, just who these people are. Are they dangerous? Are they harmless? And it's up to you to paint a picture for your boss, because he can't see any of the raw data. He can only see what you give him. So the data that you give up to the system essentially shapes who this person is, and they can use that to act. So if you make a person look, like a really mean, terrible person, then that's who they're going to be perceived as, even if later on you realize that, they were just going through something and they're actually really nice. And one of the twists being that once you upload a piece of data to the system, it cannot be taken away. So you end up having to make a lot of really hard choices about, is this relevant to the case I'm working on? Is this something that they really need to know? And it's really well done. The art style is a really unique art style.
So this is just an NSA training program,
Yeah, pretty much.
basically.
But it's really interesting. Just the sheer amount of depth they have and the connections between the people and all the data you get to dig through is really, really interesting. And
But is it interesting?
yeah, it's interesting.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
how interesting would you say on a scale of to really?
I'd say it's really.
Love you, Matt.
Sweet. Is it on Steam?
It is.
Cool.
His
right,
name is on Steam.
Brian, what's your recommendo?
What?
It's a good word. What? I like it.
Yeah, it's the best
the best
word.
Interesting.
Up until recently, I've been using the camera built into my laptop. Not the best. So I decided to invest a lot of money into a really nice Logitech C270. By a lot of money, I mean like $19. This is a phenomenal camera. It's got a built-in speaker. It's got 720p. The
microphone, I believe.
Yeah, built-in microphone. What did I say?
Speaker. That'd be really weird.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it would be weird. Built-in microphone.
It's talking at me. It won't stop.
Shut up. Really good quality. I'm very pleased for the price. I could not believe the quality. The software's limited, but it still gives you some ability to pan and scan and zoom and stuff. So highly recommended. It's the Logitech C270.
Cool. Nice. All right. My recommendation for this week is the movie Split by M. Night Shyamalan. It is a return to form for that director. And if you enjoyed all of his earlier movies, The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs. This is
Kimmy Schmidt? Was an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
It was Kimmy Schmidt.
Wow.
He's good. I'm telling you, he's good.
Did not show.
What a
The
twist.
Airbender. Yeah, not so good. Anyways, the movie's not quite a horror film, but sort of a horror film. It sort of hides what it truly is, which is appropriate because James McAvoy plays a character with multiple personalities who kidnaps some young girls. You see that in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away. One of the young ladies who he kidnaps is the lead lady from The Witch, which Brian and I saw last year, and she is really good. She was also in Morgan. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No, not yet. I'm going to, though.
It's an interesting little flick. Not totally successful, but she does a great job, and here she's really good as well. So it's got a lot of twists and turns, maybe not quite what you're expecting from M. Night, but it is quite a thrill. And I will say that being an early fan who does hate The Happening and does not like The Village and never saw Beyond Earth or whatever the hell it was called, and his non-genre stuff, I really enjoyed this. And in the very end of it, I was so goddamn thrilled and excited. I practically was like, I did a fist pump in the theater, and I tried to hold back tears, and yeah, so it's really good. I mean, I really super enjoyed it. Highly recommended. Split. So
I will watch it.
Yes, you will. You may not have a choice. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, or anywhere you download your regular podcasts. If you like
regular ones.
Yes. Ooh. If you take Imodium, I don't know. If you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our social media, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our wiki. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And to join in my new website about reviewing flashlights, depending on how bright they are when you're shining your face in a very dark room, follow me on Twitter at TheRealWeirdKid.
You can find me on Twitter at Brian Podcasts.
Why the fuck would anyone follow you for that, Matt?
I just followed him because of that. I unfollow and refollow every episode.
Oh, thanks, Brian. It really makes me feel a whole lot better.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, roll for sanity.
Good.
Woo-hoo. All right. That's it. Thanks, guys. All right. So I'm going to
Woo! Under the radar.